What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, longtime legendary manager Shelly Finkel, who managed former Olympic bronze medalist, former WBC reigning heavyweight world champion, who successfully defended his title 10 times after capturing it and holding it for 5 years, Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Shelly Finkel confirms that undefeated two-time unified British heavyweight world champion Tyson the Gypsy King Fury and his fellow countrymen, two-time unified heavyweight world champion British superstar boxer Anthony Joshua, are in deep negotiations to stage their undisputed massive showdown, and that they are going to arbitration, this being Team Wilder, to try to force the hand of Tyson Fury into the trilogy match that he is contractually bound to. With that said, Shelly Finkel stated that they are going to do everything possible to bring Tyson Fury back to the table and to be able to stage this trilogy match. With that said, Shelly Finkel has informed that he is indeed going to, they're looking into Charles Martin, former IBF heavyweight world champion, and several other options as a plan B. They're preparing themselves for plan B as Shelly Finkel stated, he does not want to leave Deontay Wilder sitting on his hands. So he stated that they are indeed going to go and they are preparing for plan B. We heard a lot of reports that Deontay Wilder could possibly face former unified Mexican heavyweight world champion superstar boxer Andy Ruiz Jr. You heard Charles Martin name and a plethora of other names. And Shelly Finkel has confirmed that they are indeed talking to all of these boxers because they have to prepare themselves for plan B if this Tyson Fury situation is not resolved in their favor. With that said, Shelly Finkel believes that they still have an opportunity and a chance to get Tyson Fury back to the negotiation table. But let's listen to what Shelly Finkel had to say. Quote, he said, "We are going to go for everything we can," says Shelly Finkel. "I'm a realist with what I am up against. We have an agreement. Even if we didn't have an agreement, we gave Tyson Fury 2 shots. He's made more money than he's ever seen. Deontay was very kind to him while he was going through his mental problems. Forget everything else. Morally, he should be giving Deontay Wilder the opportunity and the trilogy match." He says, "Fury, however, is in deep discussions to face Anthony Joshua in a title unification fight. Last fall, a financial structure for Joshua and Fury fight was agreed to. Representatives for both parties have been shifting through possible locations to hold the fight in late spring. That scenario would leave Wilder scrambling for a new opponent." Asked about Charles Martin, Shelly Finkel said he is indeed one of the several names under consideration for Wilder's return. Then Shelly Finkel states, "If we can't get the fight with Fury, Deontay needs to be active. If this is the worst case scenario, we're going to be prepared to get him back in the ring by any means." End quote. So, Shelly Finkel confirms that Anthony Joshua Tyson Fury will be facing off in the spring. This is what you heard from Matchroom CEO and promoter of Anthony Joshua, Eddie Hearn, and this is what you heard from Queensberry Promotions CEO Frank Warren, who co-promotes Tyson Fury in the UK, and this is what you heard from legendary promoter, top-ranked CEO Bob Arum, that the fight is 95% done, and that the fight will be taking place in the spring of 2021. So, as we already knew, they had already agreed upon a 2-fight deal to stage this fight in 2021. So, with that said, Shelly Finkel all but confirms that, the possibility of bringing this fight, Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder, is very slim. The trilogy match, okay? And that they are indeed planning for Plan B. Charles Martin talk. You saw it last week. Charles Martin had mentioned that he is in line and leading candidate to land the Deontay Wilder fight. And then you have a 2-fight plan, as I stated to you guys, that the possibility, if you go back and look at my video, the possibility that Andy Ruiz could be the second option or the next fight for Deontay Wilder in a 2-fight plan. Charles Martin at 1, Andy Ruiz at 2. With that said, it's abundantly clear by Shelly Finkel's tone that they're going to go to any measures to bring Tyson Fury to this trilogy match. There was talk that they were going to offer, Team Fury was going to offer Deontay Wilder $10 million to step aside, to put all of this to the side and let them proceed forward, be able to announce the fight, be able to, start promoting the fight between Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, and settle out with Deontay Wilder for $10 million. There was also reports that they were going to settle out for $32 million. The numbers continue to change. The numbers continue to contradict themselves. But it's abundantly clear that Shelly Finkel feels like there's a strong possibility Tyson Fury could be moving on and fighting Anthony Joshua in the spring of 2021, with Deontay Wilder having backup options in Charles Martin, Andy Ruiz, and several other fighters. With that said, yes, you could, from Shelly Finkel stating that Tyson Fury, morally should give Deontay Wilder the trilogy match. Absolutely. Absolutely. But if he's not legally bound to give Deontay Wilder the trilogy match, and he can avoid the risk and go ahead and press forward with this massive undisputed showdown, which is not going to take place in the United Kingdom, in the UK, because Tyson Fury doesn't have a license there. He denounced his license. And if he so chooses to pick up his license in the UK, there's reports that Tyson Fury could be suspended because UKAD, United Kingdom Anti-Doping Agency, will launch a fresh investigation the moment he decides to, proceed with his career in the UK. So it's looking like the location is going to be outside of the United Kingdom and outside of the United States. They're looking to place this fight. More than likely, you're going to get somewhere in Saudi Arabia or, Dubai, something of that nature, to press forward with this fight. And, Deontay Wilder is going to have to, rebuild, back up his career. Outside of Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, I don't believe there's anybody that's even remotely close to a 60-40 fight with Deontay Wilder, meaning being able, the percentage of them being able to beat Deontay Wilder. Charles Martin, he's going to knock out Charles Martin. No disrespect to Charles Martin. I like Charles Martin. Andy Ruiz may be the toughest fight out of all. Oleksandr Usyk, who's the WBO mandatory challenger, who's undefeated and was undisputed at cruiserweight. Oleksandr Usyk doesn't stand a chance to beat Deontay Wilder. There's not many names. A big fight would be, obviously, the build-up would be Dillian Whyte and Deontay Wilder. Obviously, Andy Ruiz would be a big fight after what he did with Anthony Joshua. So, yes, there are big names and big fights with Deontay Wilder, but obviously the titles are going to reside with either Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury. And in my guess, my opinion, I believe that Anthony Joshua will not beat Tyson Fury. I think that Tyson Fury will beat Anthony Joshua. I think that Anthony Joshua is too robotic, he's too stiff, and he's too predictable for Tyson Fury. And not to mention, Anthony Joshua's body language just doesn't, look too confident. Even in his victory over Kubrat Pulev, he still just didn't look too confident. Now, obviously, there's a long layoff, there's a pandemic, there's a lot going on, but his body language didn't scream too confident. He got the knockout, but there was times where, he seemed hesitant in the fight. And Kubrat Pulev is not fluid. Kubrat Pulev doesn't have, athletic ability. He has power, but he's very stiff and he's very predictable. And Tyson Fury is anything but. Tyson Fury is fluid. Tyson Fury is unpredictable. Tyson Fury could box on the inside. He could box from the outside. So I think that Tyson Fury will beat Anthony Joshua, and I think he will be the undisputed champion. And then Deontay Wilder is going to have to revisit this entire scenario and this entire situation once again. Not to mention that Tyson Fury is now claiming that he will never step in the ring with Deontay Wilder, seeing as though Deontay Wilder, the claims, allegations he made that Tyson Fury had, an object in the glove, and, Tyson Fury had unfair advantage in the fight. And Tyson Fury took it and stated that, that was essentially a black eye to his community, right, and his people. It was offensive to them, and so for that, he stated that he will never step in the ring with Deontay Wilder ever again, moving forward. So we have to see how this unfolds and plays out, because I believe that Tyson Fury is going to beat Anthony Joshua. Now, in between that, is it going to be, now we know they had a 2-fight deal. Tyson Fury is not one, obviously, to uphold and stand on his square when he commits to a 2-fight deal. He didn't fight Vladimir Klitschko in a immediate rematch that they were scheduled to have in their contract. He didn't immediately fight Deontay Wilder when he was supposed to. That was contractually bound. And now he's not even honoring the trilogy match that he's contractually bound to Deontay Wilder after Deontay Wilder resurrected his career, as Shelly Finkel stated, and gave him an opportunity to build up his, to rebuild his image and to rectify and, feed his family. The ball is in his court, obviously, now. And I don't know what went wrong, but it looks like Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua is going to press forward. So let's see how this unfolds and all of this plays out. But like I stated, Deontay Wilder still definitely has fights and opportunities to make a big name for himself. He could definitely knock out Charles Martin. He knocks out Andy Ruiz or Dillian White. People are going to call for Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua winner for Undisputed. So let's see how this plays out and unfolds. But that's all I got for y'all. Y'all already know what it is. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Bluebud Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Bluebud Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.